Welcome back to Family Wrench. Today we're going to be working on our 2016 Mazda CX-5. It's a new car to us. And it came with a little bit of a brake sound on this. We're on the left front. So as you heard when the video started. So one of the things we're going to be doing today is replacing the rotors and possibly the pads. We're going to do a little bit of experimentation while we do this. First thing is going to be the rotors. So we're going to get into that here in a sec. Okay, so what we've done up to this point is a little bit of work on this rotor. I took it off once and sanded it ever so slightly to knock off the glaze, as one suggestion that I ran across said, but it actually made the noise worse. I have greased or lubricated the pads. The pads look good, and so I don't have a way of measuring this thickness, but I've even switched the pads from left to right, which is kind of an odd thing to do, I guess, but the noise keeps coming from here. So I'm suspecting the rotor, something is going on with it. I do know that it was machined at around 60,000. The car has about 120,000 on it right now. So we're gonna just replace the rotor and see if that's what it is. We got some sort of like grabbing sound. It kind of has a frequency to it, and it does depend on how hard you push. So first thing we're going to do, 17 millimeter, we're just going to take the whole bracket off. I'm not going to take the caliper off with it, and then we'll set it on this bucket here. And I've had this off once, so it should be easier. First time I tried to get it off, I didn't think I was going to actually be able to do it. It was very, these bolts were very much on there. You want to get that? There we go, yeah, I got it. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much that. And then it's just a matter of, you don't want to run into the brake lines and stuff like that. It'd be cool to have one of those little ratchet. That's a long bolt. Oh, and one thing about this video is we're not really sure if this is going to fix it or not. So we're kind of guessing a little bit. We're going to see. But the fact that it's been machined once and it's making a noise, it's enough for me to at least try putting rotors on it. All right. It has let go. All right, put that there for now. This whole thing should come off of here. I've had this rotor off before, so it shouldn't be this one shouldn't be a problem. Oops. I won't do that. Yeah. Put you back in there. I'll just deal with that later. Okay, so, yep, it's not going to come off there easily, interestingly. I'm going. Okay, so this is a crazy sort of tool to use, but we used it the same thing on the Toyota, the RAV4, and this technique works very well. And this should pop it off. A whole lot of trouble. There you go. Now, if you live in a rough state, I don't know. And this one only has one hull, whereas the Toyota had two, which I think two makes more sense. You know, where you can kind of half turn each one and get it off more better. All right, this is our check the thicknesses, but due to its age and situation, I think we're just going to let it go. All right, so next thing to do is to make sure this is polished down. And I did a quick job on it, but I think I'm going to do a better job for the sake of this video than that. It feels pretty good, but flatter is better. So we'll get after that. All right, so here's a new brake rotor. Here's the old one. We checked them to make sure that they are same size, 5 lug. It's got the little deal to remove it, same. So what you need to do next is use, I don't know where my brake cleaner went, but since it's new, you got to use brake cleaner on this rotor face, this right here, to clean it up real good so it doesn't have the added or the protectant that keeps it from rusting. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so now that we got a nice clean rotor, we're going to put this on. I'm going to put it back together with the old brake pads, sorry, for the first run, just to see. We have brake pads if we need them, and we might replace those, but I want to see what is this? Is it both of them together, or is it just the rotor? So put this on. Okay, so put the rotor on, and take one of these guys, one of your lug nuts, put it all the way down on there. I'll keep it decently in place while we put the caliper, the bracket back on. I'm gonna have to mess with this thing to get this pad back in here. Okay, so we need that to be as spread apart as possible. So, yep, we got that on there. Just because I got my fingers in there and they might be a little dirty. Let's make sure the pads are clean. I just don't want to have any reason for this to not work. And this stuff dries out real fast. Dries out super fast. Brake dust, who knows what it all is. A non-chlorinated brake cleaner probably is better for a lot of reasons, but it doesn't work as good, I'll tell you that. So we do have to scrub it a little bit more. More and more states are going to non-chlorinated, and probably pretty soon I guess they all will. So it's just something we all got to do to keep things going. All right, let's hope this isn't too hard to get on there. Well, I put it out. Probably isn't the ideal way to do this, but oh, of course. Okay, this ain't gonna work. The reason why is this rotor is the right thickness, so we're gonna have to compress the caliper. So since I pulled this whole bracket off and I wasn't thinking about needing to compress the caliper, I took the pads back out and just kind of finger tightened it into here, so I got something to hold this while I take the caliper off. Just a little bit of a mistake in order. But not something that we can't work around. I didn't want to try to do it just with my hand pressure, make a mistake and hurt the brake line somehow, so that's why I did this. So this is a way that many people take these off anyway. So here we go. Now I got the caliper off. Tell you what, the brake line is not super long on these things. Okay, so next we'll take an old brake pad from a previous job. Stick that in there. Stick the tool in here. Probably have to adjust it. Yep. Adjust it. Put you in here. You can even do this with a pair of channel locks if you got them, but I like this approach. Now, whenever you press a caliper in, you gotta realize your brake pressure is not gonna be there when you get in the car. So you gotta pump the brakes to push this back out to where it needs to be. That's something we gotta remember. All right, so I'm gonna take these. This one obviously was on the caliper side, so that's where we're gonna put it back. This has been greased a few times actually. Oh, I am totally out of sorts here today. I need to tighten up this bracket first. Hold please. This is a long bolt. All right, so we'll get decently tight on first pass. I'm gonna make this thing longer and get it. It needs to be about 90 foot-pounds. It needs to be. Okay, good. Okay, so I always check these pins, make sure they move well, which they do. Notice that I got some copper anti-seize on the rotor, so we're going to take care of that right now. It's just kind of part of it when you get some lubrication around and looking on the inside. Looks good. Okay, so now back to where we were. Take this one, it was on the caliper side. You can see that big circle there. I'm gonna put him on here. All right, you can put the other one on. I guess it goes in like this. Find it going in at an angle, but not too much. Seems to help. Clean up again. Now, if everything's going well, we should be able to just put this on. Yep. All right. So I can feel that it's, yeah, there's some play in there. So definitely gonna have to pump the brakes to make it work. 14mm bolts here on the Mazda. I believe the brakes on many of the Mazdas are fairly similar, if not exactly the same, for a number of years. Alright, so these bolts won't need near as much torque, but you do want them tight. Yep, okay. Alright, so we can put the wheel on and then do the other side, and then we're gonna take it for a test drive. So it's very good. We were able to fix this funny little problem. It was making I looked it up, it was called stick slip from what I could gather, but when I started looking for that on YouTube, that's not what I found. So I'm not sure what the problem is called, but it was a vibratory sort of sound. It was not warped. Obviously the rotor was sticking some and slipping some and creating that vibration that was going through the car. It was stopping well, but obviously not stopping as it should. with all of the grip that it should have. So what I figure is that the rotor had gotten hot. Maybe it was thin because of being machined, and finally started giving up, because all we changed on this was the rotor. We kept the pads on purpose to isolate what the real problem was. So maybe that helps you in some respect if you got that kind of sound. It was only coming from one side too. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching our channel, and thank you for supporting it. Like and subscribe and hit the alert and all that kind of stuff if you want to keep up with what we're doing. And cheers. See you next time.